Donald Trump had what can only be described as a late-night political panic attack. Emergency meeting, Capitol Hill Club, cabinet members, former campaign aides, pollsters, the whole "this is not a drill" crew. Why? Because the midterms are coming fast and the numbers are brutal. They're staring at the latest Reuters Ipsos polling showing Trump sitting at 60% disapproval. Immigration? Net negative 17%. The economy? Net negative 23%. Even support among men is sliding. The bleeding isn't slowing, it's accelerating. And according to people in the room, the message from the pollsters was basically, "Sir, this is bad." So what does Trump do after digesting all that data? Does he pivot, recalibrate, offer policy solutions? Nope. He logs onto social media at midnight and posts a dramatic QAnon-style meme of himself looking ominous with the caption, "I will be the one to shut it down. People that doubted will soon see." Sir, we're already in a partial government shutdown. You were responsible for the longest shutdown in American history. If the goal was to shut things down, government, economic stability, national dignity, mission accomplished. Then, because it's apparently 2020 forever in Trump world, he follows that up with, "Crooked elections cannot be allowed in the USA." So the emergency strategy session boiled down to this. Poll numbers down, call elections crooked again. Same playbook, different year. Meanwhile, Americans are struggling in 2026, living paycheck to paycheck if they're lucky enough to have a paycheck. Healthcare costs rising, manufacturing slowing, prices climbing, wealth concentrating at the top. And he's still litigating 2020. At some point, you have to move on. And then there's the Epstein shadow hanging over everything. A UN Human Rights Council-appointed panel of independent experts just reviewed, released Epstein documents, and said some of the conduct described could meet the legal threshold for crimes against humanity, citing systemic abuse, misogyny, and the commodification of girls and women. Only a small fraction of the files have been made public. The rest? Still sealed. We know there are more than 1,200 victims identified across investigations. The scale alone is staggering. And yes, there have been sworn declarations, allegations, civil findings, videotape statements, beauty pageant comments, all of it. These aren't internet rumors. They're documented records, court filings, and public statements. Trump has already been found civilly liable for sexual abuse in a separate case. He's on tape bragging about grabbing women. He publicly described walking in on beauty pageant contestants because he owned the pageant. That's not locker room talk. That's a pattern of behavior people are allowed to question. Meanwhile, figures tied to Epstein moved in elite circles, speaking at the United Nations, launching nonprofit projects, rubbing shoulders with political and financial heavyweights.
First of all, Your Excellencies, Presidents, Lords, ladies and gentlemen, I just would like to thank you so much, and it's such an honor to be here. I'm here representing civil society. My passion for the ocean, for those of you, there's a slideshow going up there, so you don't just have to hear me, you can see the pictures as well. Started when I was a little girl. I grew up watching Jacques Cousteau on TV and became mesmerized with the oceans. It led to me becoming a deep water submersible pilot. And ultimately, on one of my first dives, when I went down expecting to see a fish, I switched on the lights at the bottom of the ocean and saw a plastic hanger.
The normalization of it all is what's so disturbing. And while this political circus continues, companies are raising prices again, citing tariffs, labor costs, insurance hikes. Wall Street Journal reporting says the price pause is over. Consumers are about to feel it. So let's recap. Emergency meeting over collapsing poll numbers. Midnight conspiracy memes. More 2020 election claims. Epstein files still looming. Prices rising again? And Americans are just trying to survive. At some point, leadership has to mean more than grievance posting at midnight. Grow up, govern. That's the bare minimum.